want to watch a short YouTube. साला हर बार YouTube चालू करने में short चालू करता है.
My default is set on the home thing, so for me, it never shorts
I
never pop up.
honestly I don't use it as much because of the amount of ads you see nowadays.
Yeah, bro. Any Instagram is better. You want to watch a full movie, there are snippets of it on Instagram. Just end up watching it there and then be done with it.
That is
At
the
least that
best.
way you won't subject yourself to the 3 hour plus torture that is animal.
रे animal. I think we are live. Are we?
Just check.
Yes. Ni hao, everyone.
Huan Ying Lies of Shanghai. That is welcome to Shanghai in Mandarin. We are keeping it culture appropriate here. And speaking of Shanghai, one driver in particular, Shrikant Das, has been hyping it up a lot, and he's the first driver to try to set an outlap here in China. Welcome return, of course, to
Yes.
Shanghai, a track which we haven't gone to in real life since 2019, being the last time we ever went to Shanghai, if I'm correct.
That is
2020 was
correct.
COVID, 21 was, 21, 22, then 23 was the past.
That is correct. So, Jin,
Yes.
I believe you have driven around this track quite a bit. I think as most of us have. I quite like this track. I don't know. Some people just don't like this track. What's your opinion of it?
I feel like it's one of the last good Herman Tilk design tracks. So it's got elements of Sepang, and I mean before the street circuit wave started, the elements of Tilkism that we're seeing, a flowing sector 1 into a tight technical sector 2, followed by a straight, and then you get a tight technical turn before you reach the start finish line. So it's pretty much, I'd say, one of the best Asian tracks on the game. I'm not sure how many there are on the game, Asian tracks.
I'll say about, if you will have to also have to count the Arabian track. So do you want to count those?
That's
or
Middle East. That's Middle Eastern region.
So
for me.
Asian, specifically Asian, we have 3: the Singapore, Japan, and China.
So yeah, I mean, China is a solid number 2 for me, and of course, I mean, Suzuka is always going to be the best one, because it's literally, when a track layout hasn't changed for as long as that track has been, barring minor changes, you know that how good the track layout is to begin with.
That's true.
And of course, viewers, for those of you watching today, just understand that today it's ghosting off.
Yes.
So this should be very, very interesting. Drivers have been reminded that ghosting is off. It's our first ever league race in THTRL with ghosting off, if I'm correct about it.
It is. Yeah, we usually run with the standard stock setting that we know and love at this point, which is ghosting off. So it's going to be interesting to see if anybody has any issues with this. As Shrikant goes 32-4, he made a few mistakes.
Probably not. In qualifying, probably not, because everyone does get out of the way on when someone is on a hot lap and you're on your out or in lap. So not so much in qualifying. However, the spicy thing to see is what will happen when it comes to the race.
Yes. I think quali should still be straightforward.
Yeah, technical tracks like China, on realistic performance especially, it does show the difference in performance between each car on the grid. And there is, of course, a difference in driver skill as well compared to tracks like your Jeddah and everything. Jeddah is more or less, it's very easy to keep up even in a realistic performance car. So
that is true.
We shall see how this goes. Smith with a 146.5. Was that a warm-up lap?
It is a warm-up lap.
No, he's still on. His RS is still flashing though when he crosses.
So I think he's just trying to get some laps and get a feel for the car. We have Raman coming up to the line. Yeah, Bharat doing the... I think Bharat anticipates some rain. Would you be surprised to see some rain?
No, not at all. Shanghai has a very... I wouldn't say very high, but Shanghai has a higher than average rain potential on this game.
Exactly.
Of course, Shanghai is a landmark track in F1 history. If you remember, the 1000th Grand Prix happened at Shanghai, where basically nothing happened really in that race.
But it was the 1000th race.
Yeah,
it was hyped up as being the biggest deal of all time, and then it ends up just existing.
Yes. also, Shanghai 2006 is one of the
Oh
all-time
yeah,
races.
of course.
Michael Schumacher from sixth place won the race. It was a mixed conditions race, if I remember it correctly.
Yes,
And yeah,
it
I
was.
mean,
I think
and
it
of
was.
course, 2007, Lewis
Oh,
Hamilton pit lane at Shanghai. So Shanghai has its share of memorable moments,
as we
and
have
TBK goes
possibly
fastest. But
another one coming here. TBK on
yeah,
pole.
but
We
you
know
can
TBK is
see
a bit of a feisty figure. He is very quick.
TBK's only problem is that his race pace isn't as consistent. So he's very good over one lap, and there goes Abhishek with over 31.9. So there is so
Yeah,
much more time to extract from this track, given how
exactly.
Abhishek, Williams has set a 31.9,
And
and
Smith in the
Abhishek, of course,
Ferrari has just gone about a second or rather 8 tenths slower than Raman, despite not using any of his batteries. So
yeah. So there's more time to be
don't
found for
discount
these
Smith.
people,
Yeah, don't discount Smith.
and I
And
am pretty sure that someone, if it's not raining, someone will try. Vifix is out on mediums. And
right?
I'm not exactly aware of the tire delta, but if it's the same one-step compound difference, then this should be about 0.36 difference between your softs and your mediums. I doubt anyone is going to take the soft tires unless there's a very, very late safety car, because soft tires will burn out way too fast on this track. And you'll feel it as well, because there's so many technical sections that the lack of grip really hits you quite hard. We have Shooter who is down. I think, yeah, he's on an in lap.
Yeah,
Smith
most
is
are
on
on
an
their
in
in
lap.
laps.
I
Yeah.
think Jishnu is going to finish his lap right
No,
now.
he backed off. So I
He
was
backed
following
off?
Jishnu while you were
Okay.
speaking. So
All right. And Basil
mostly,
is on
yeah,
his hot
hot
lap
lap.
right now.
Yeah.
Car number 66 in the Alpine.
Yes.
24.2. That's his purple for me. I'm not sure whether it's actually purple, because there's a
You
glitch in
never
this
know.
game where.
You never know. You just never know. You have to take it with a pinch of salt.
Imagine how disheartening it must be for a driver to see that he is doing purple sectors only to end up half a second off of the pole time.
That happens to me quite often when I'm setting my final quali lap. I know that usually my quali pace is not the greatest, but then I see that I've set a purple first or middle sector, and then when I cross the line, it shows me that I'm over a second slower than the pole setter. It's like, I don't get how they can't fix this. I think this has been an issue since 2020, F1
Yeah,
2020.
2020. 2020.
So yeah, 4 game cycles. I think another 7 or 8, and then they should be acknowledging the issue, and then another 5 games after that they should attempt to fix it. And yeah,
Yeah.
in
Of
due
course,
course of time. Yeah,
I think Basil is going to finish this lap. I think it's going to be about a 32, somewhere around there. Could be a
32-3,
31 as well. Yeah, so there we go,
32-4.
32-4.
All right.
Yeah, entering the last sector, there's a Vifix is on a fast lap as well. We'll see what time he puts up. Let's see where he breaks. 150 meters, 100 meters, slightly.
That's bold on the brakes, I must say. He really seems to be in control of this car.
Yeah, maybe it's his future car. Who knows? Alpine and Vifix, of course, one of the best relationships we have seen. Oh, 31.9 on mediums. Oh, that is
as I said, he is very committed. Vifix, as we know, Vifix is absolutely on it all the time, and that shows.
Redstone setting he is. Redstone is setting a lap.
Redstone is on a lap. I am on board with him, and Domathor saying that he hopes that the next game is on Unreal Engine 5, like how WRC was. Would that be the best call for them?
With Unreal Engine 5, again, the only issue I have with that is that in WRC games, you don't really race against other drivers, you race against the clock. So it's a time attack mode, basically. In this game, I don't know how a complete physics overhaul would be, to be honest. So that's anytime you have that if but maybe gray area, usually not the best thing in the world.
That's true. I do agree with that. As Redstone goes P3, he's 2 tenths slower than Vifix at the moment. We have Harshi on the lap.
Will do one final run on softs if I'm correct. So I think pole is not settled yet.
Definitely, I'll say Abhishek's.
Also, there is a very high chance of Shrikant goes 31.919.
But look at the gaps at the top. It's really marginal.
Yeah,
Less
and
than a
keep in
tenth
mind
separation.
the
Yeah.
third P3 guy has done that on medium, so there's about a
Exactly. Yeah.
3 tenths to find. If he
As
makes
what
a mistake, probably like a
what can
tenth and a
Hershey
half.
do? Hershey is in the Red
Harsh,
Bull, so you would expect to see him around the top, but judging
Hershey
as
is a
per
quick
this lap,
driver, but
yeah,
keep in mind, Chips, because of last week's incidents, he has a 20-second time penalty for the
yeah,
race.
he does. He does. So that's not going to bode well for him, and definitely his race has been compromised right from the offset. But then again, he should not have reset to track.
Yes,
He
great
wanted to
camera
avoid
work
that.
by the lead commentator to catch that last week. So yes,
Yeah, both of them. Yeah.
Jishnu is just starting his hot lap right now.
So let's
I hope,
take us through the lap, Jen.
yeah, as he enters turn one, turn two, and he misses. Oh, I think he compromised the apex slightly on both corners, so that's about a half a tenth to a tenth loss. Compromises the apex exit of the next corner as well. It should be a 24-2. Yeah, it's a 24-2. So not very good first sector. Your ideal first sector should be in 24-1s. But let's see. This left turn, it's very easy to lose your car on one tires, but Jishnu does a good job of keeping it in check. This sequence of corners I absolutely love because it's a very good test of driving ability, these corners. Very easy to invalidate on the next set of corners, but he gets through it just fine, entering the hairpin now. First comes the left king, then this right one. Now, how brave are you on the throttle immediately at the exit? And Jishnu slightly hesitant. Abhishek with the 31.8 in the meantime. Jishnu was slightly hesitant on the throttle, but good. No fancy movements by his rear tire right there, so that's also good. Let's see where he decides to brake. Oh, that's slightly before the 100-meter board, and he still outbrakes himself. So not a very good hairpin section right there. I think this is going to be about a 32-4.
Absolutely spot on, Jin. What a prediction! But yeah, I'm quite happy to see the field so closely matched. Although,
Yeah,
as I say that, I do expect the fix to absolutely annihilate everybody.
I mean, there are still chances of things going wrong as well. So
That
we
is
can't be
that
too
is true.
sure about. Yeah, nothing's a certainty in life except death and taxes. Kanye West.
Yes, of course. I must say though, Vifix, what car can we give him to like halt his progress? Bharat, what a great lap by him.
That's a good
Although
lap.
that's a good lap, but yeah, not a great lap per se.
Yeah, it's not that far ahead of what Abhishek in the Williams has done.
Yeah, and that's not a very good
Bharat is
look in the
someone, I
Red
think,
Bull.
who uses full traction control. If I'm
He
correct.
does. He does. I'm pretty sure he does.
That on this track, yeah, again in dry conditions, it's gonna hold you back a lot. Maybe if it was wet, we'd have seen a more representative lap time. But if you're driving, and Vifix is navigating the first two, so he took a very good entry into the turn one. He compromises his exit there. Maybe it's to carry more speed into the first sector ending. Let's see. Slightly off. I think his last time his first sector was 24-1. So 24. No, it's a 24 flat. What am I even saying? That was fast. I thought it was a 24-2. My bad. Age is catching up to me. Meanwhile, this technical section is where the difference between the Williams and his Alpine should really shine through. I think
the way his car is just planted.
Safe. No, he went slightly safe. He's
safe. Up by 3.5 tenths. This could well be pole. I think it's going to be a 31. 31-7, I'll say 31, like 31-7-0.
Yeah, because this is the part where things can very easily go wrong. The braking into the hairpin. First time it was brilliant by him. Let's see how the braking holds up this time around. He brakes slightly after the 100-meter board every single time. Same here this time. Oh, and that is clean. That is very, very clean. No snaps of oversteer. Very planted on the exit. Oh, he slightly misses the apex on the last corner. That would have compromised his lap time by
31-4.
Oh my!
What a lap!
Yeah, I think had he taken the last corner properly, it would have been a 31-3. I'm willing to bet he's lost 1.5 tenths because of it.
But what a lap by Vifix. He got the lap done when the track was empty. So he won't have any traffic.
Now everyone's gonna now he can just sit in the pits because there's no point of him staying out any further.
Off the track, and I think that's
Is
But
quali done for him?
I think that's he can charge his battery pack up and go again. But
But
in battery,
the tires would have taken
yeah,
a beating.
they have definitely, and also you drain a lot of battery during the quali lap around here. So
Uh,
yeah, he's going for
on the
it.
question of what car can we give Vifix to halt his progress, that depends on what the next track is.
I think we can give him a VF21. That's the only car I believe that can
Which
marginally
track
halt
is
his
it, by
progress.
the way, Chips? Next time around, because I'm
Uh,
sorry, I do not remember the calendar all
I'm
that
pretty
well.
sure it's Spain. Let me just take a gander at the calendar. Oh no, it's one of my favorite tracks, Sao Paulo, and it's a sprint weekend.
Sao Paulo. Oh, in that case, you're better off giving Vifix something like a Haas because the Williams is really good in a straight line. So the
Exactly.
last, you're better
Exactly.
off giving him something like a Haas. And he's towing his teammate along as well. So, but that's he's on his outlap. So yeah, some.
I think he is going to carry on. He is not going to go in, and he is going to give Basil a nice tow, at least on the main straight, if not the entire lap. And I think that's what it's going to be like. Basil starting his lap. So
Yeah,
Jishnu
but
has binned
Basil
it.
is. Yeah,
He's
I
retired on
think
track.
Vifix
Is
is
it?
gonna go off track now. Yes, perfect. That
That's
was
a
a
good
good
teamwork.
entry.
Yeah, that's good teamwork by the pair of them. Basil obviously also in the same car. I
Yeah,
think they are
Basil
struggling to
is.
adapt to the midfield aspect of the Alpine.
Yeah. The problem with the Alpine is that it's a stable car, yes, but there's no single attribute of an Alpine in realistic performance that really stands out. For example, with your Williams, you have good straight line speed. With your Aston Martins, you have very good low traction. In Alpine, it's like it's average in all aspects. So
That's true. That is true. I
some
mean, that is the truth. Even in
yeah,
real life, it's there. Doesn't do much, but it's
good
there.
teamwork by the lot though.
And he's up at
Basil's
410.
four
But
tens
this
good.
not
Oh, he's missed the apex. He's missed the apex though, and he's
he
taking
could
too much of the apex the next time around. This is and he
overcompensation. Yeah, this is
yeah
overcompensation.
overcompensation. Ive compensat
Ive
right there.
compensa. Exactly.
Yeah.
Case in point, Basil is going to be the first car to cross the line. We will.
Basil was up by 4 tenths, yes, on the
Yeah,
second sector. That means, given his mistakes, he's only going to improve by a
two
tenth or
tenths.
tenth and a half at
I think it's
best.
going to be two tenths. Basil will make up some time in
Depends
this
on
last
the.
sector, this turn.
Oh, he's missed a hairpin as well.
Yeah, he's breaks a little later than what I expected him to, but the last corner
I
is where
think
you
the
can.
reason why the car stops better for Vifix is because he has ABS off, so he has full braking power on command.
And he improves. I can't see by how much because
It's
there's a.
a tenth and a half. It's 0.132. I was absolutely correct when I called that one as well.
And Hashi to the line. Only P12 for the Red Bull driver. That's a shocking effort.
Yeah, Checo. TBK is coming up to the line. He's down on his sector 2 times though, and he's cut the and
That's quali over. Abhishek is down by 3.3 seconds.
yeah. I think he made a
So
mistake
is that
somewhere.
quali over for everybody?
That
Charles
is
is
quali over for
marginally down on
Charles.
his time.
Yeah,
Wicked
but
Vicky,
how
Wicked
much
Vicky
can
to
he
the
really
line.
gain in order to
Wicked Vicky's
make
out of
up?
battery.
Yeah,
And he
in
comes
order
up
to
to the
make up
line.
the gap to
10.
Vifix, he'd have to gain 8 tenths. And he invalidates on the last corner anyway. So yeah,
Smith
32.3.
Smith up by 1.2 seconds. This could
1.2 would be
see him where Redstone is.
33 flat. Yes, at 33 flat.
I
Let's see,
think this
last
will put
corner
him where
takes
Redstone
the
is.
apex well.
And
Slightly
that.
compromised on the exit. I would have liked the car to flow.
Oh,
My
P2!
word.
What a
Smith,
fantastic
Smith
effort,
shot.
Smith.
So it's an Alpine and a Ferrari on the front row. TBK, had he not cut, he might have had a chance to sneak in into P2. But yeah, Vifix and Smith are people who I would term under the very clean drivers category. Them, Abhishek's, Redstone. As long as Abhishek and Redstone are not doing it or are not having a quali lap battle on a wet night in Spa, they're pretty clean drivers. Yeah, but we'll see how it goes because turn 1 and turn 2, it's a little misleading at the start because sometimes some people think they can take more speed than possible, so it can be a carnage zone
That
because
is
it's a
true.
late entry apex into turn 1 and turn 2 anyhow. So
However, given the times we've seen at the moment, Jin, do you expect it to rain in the main race?
I actually don't know, Chips, because I haven't driven this track on this game at all, so I have no reference point as to what's a good time. I shall be back in
Yes.
45 seconds.
Absolutely, no worries. My apologies for that. Vifix in the Alpine takes pole position by just under 2 tenths from Smith Shah, who put in a stonking final lap in the dying moments of qualifying. TBK, Tanish PK ran P3. Bharat in the Red Bull is P4. He would have wanted a bit more than that. Abhishek's P5. He was provisionally on pole for quite a while. Shrikant's P6. Redstone is P7. I think he just did the one lap. Charles P8. Basil P9. And Jishnu rounds up the top 10 with a 132.449, just under second from Vifix. Outside the top 10, we have Wicket Vicky, Shooter, Ram and Harshi rounding off the grid. So 4 drivers outside the top 10. The entire field is within 1.7 seconds of the pole sitter. So I do expect the race to be quite a close affair, I'll say. Strategy will be key. Obviously, safety cars, I do expect safety cars. Let's have a look at the weather. It is absolutely dry. Although I see some elements of overcastness in the clouds, and quite a few people in the chat. Noble stating that the Alpine is quite a tractor in the straights. I do agree in some aspects, but yeah, it's going to be a interesting fight up top. Let's have a look at the. Well, we can't look at the tire strategies by pausing the game because then it's going to soft lock me, and that's going to be quite an issue. I see some spectators on the roof there who are enjoying having a very good time, and welcome back, Jin.
Hello, you industrious little fellows.
Yes. What a way to start it, and we're starting this race as well. Third light, fourth light, fifth light on the way, and it's lights out. Away we go.
Good start.
And that's a good start for TBK. TBK gets a lightning start. He's on the soft tires. He's got past Smith, and he's almost.
Vivek should let him go. Vivek should let him go. There's no point to this battle.
He is not going to fight it. That's a smart way to go about it. Yeah, and the field is quite clean as we go through the first set of corners.
Line of
as I say that, there's a yellow flag for Harshi, who has had a very poor start to his race weekend. Up ahead, it looks straightforward. Any moves being made here? The Red Bull of Bharat going down the inside of Abhishek, who is not having a very good race start, I believe. But let's have a look at the tires as well. So I know what to do.
So Smith is on hard tires. Very, very interesting. If you can keep up with Vifix in the first stint, then the race is as good as his, provided there's no ill-timed safety cars, of course.
Yeah, the only thing that will ruin Smith's strategy right now at this point is a safety car. Also, same goes for Jishnu. I think Jishnu and Harshi may have had a bit of a tangle. Jishnu is missing his end plate.
7.6 seconds.
Yeah, he's missing an end plate. Oh, Bharat and Charles Leclerc have made contact, and that's Charles without a wing, and that is a safety car. All right.
This does slightly help TBK's cause.
Charles reset to track, but I think he was beached on the curb, so
yeah, if he was beached on the curb, we'd have to
keep a note of that.
We'd have to inquire into his POV there. If he was beached on the track, then resetting is fine. Otherwise, the game would disqualify him. So
yes, and the field is quite spread out, but of course, yeah. We are waiting to see if there are going to be any strategy changes. Would you expect to see TBK box?
No, I don't expect him to box at all.
I don't as well. I don't either, and he carries on sensibly so.
The black arrow of TBK leading from the French. What do I even say for the Alpine? What's blue and French?
Tractors.
No, French tractors aren't blue as far as I say. I was going to make an Eiffel 65 reference, but then I remembered that they are also Italian, so I can't even say that.
Yeah. That is true.
Meanwhile, the
people are boxing, and that's a nice stop by the Merc crew. That's a nice camera angle for once, I must say. I do like the camera angles in this game.
This does help out Jishnu, everyone who had damage on the first lap because
Jishnu having to stack. Jishnu having to stack.
Vicky and him would have had to stack. But then again, he at best loses one position, so
it doesn't matter because Jishnu knows that he has the pace and he's going on to the medium tires. So I think mediums is a straightforward call. Makes sense.
Black arrow of TBK in first place, the French baguette of Vifix in second place, and the Nuvola Rossa, the red cloud of Smith in third place. So yeah, let's see how it goes.
Nuvola Rossa. I need to brush up on my Italian, I guess.
Nuvola means cloud and Rossa means red. So.
Rossa, yeah. I was going to say the Cavallino Rampante, but that's pretty straightforward. Everybody knows that. So what do we say? The TN crumpets of Abhishek's in P4, the blue TN crumpet.
Yes, I've been learning Italian over these last few days, so
Oh,
trying to become more fluent in it.
do let me know where you're learning from because I'm interested in learning as
See,
well.
self-taught.
Oh,
This
well,
would
do.
be the eighth language that I would end up learning. And yes, since we are in China and I am of Chinese origin, let me talk about how I overachieve in these things as well. Because it wouldn't be.
It's the most Asian thing to do.
Yeah, it's the most Asian thing indeed.
But yeah, of
I
course.
expect TBK to actually like. I don't think the restart is going to happen right now because Jishnu is too far behind. So next lap probably. But
Yeah,
given that I expect TBK to delay the start as much as possible, probably in and around after this hairpin and about 20 meters ahead before the final curve starts.
that's a. I guess that's the best place to start. Although I think TBK might also decide to go at the curb because that is
Yeah, at
not
the
where
curve
I
as well.
think people would expect to have a restart.
Yes, but you have to be slightly careful because it's a low traction zone, that curve. If you decide to
It
take it
is,
at
yeah,
safety car
it
restart
is.
speed, so chances of spinning out quite high. Luckily, all drivers are on the lead lap, so we haven't had a scenario where we would get to see how ghosting off and how people respect the idea of ghosting off.
That is true.
And yeah,
That
I
is.
mean, given the pace delta, I'm not exactly sure how it might work out, but given the pace delta, there could be, uh, because of the nature of this track, there could be 1 to 3 drivers who could actually end up a lap down, given the pace delta, of course.
You think that somebody could be a lap down? I think that's.
You'd minimum like given like let's look at it this way. TBK right now won't be setting the world on fire with this because his
Yeah, his
idea
tires are
is
gonna be
to, yeah.
falling off the
So
cliff.
probably around, if it's a lap 3 restart, like by lap 8 to 9, the softs and the mediums will equalize on performance.
Yeah, I
What
think
is
that's fair
interesting to
enough.
see is, does Smith play this patient, or as soon as DRS activates, does he decide to,
So Jin, I think it's in Smith's best interest to play it patient because he knows Vivix is fast and TBK is not gonna budge. So
Yeah,
it's in
and
his best interest to just stick
oh yeah,
within
I
DRS
just
of
realized
Vivix.
something. Since this track is high downforce, the ERS region is not going to be very good around this circuit.
And the safety car is in this lap. That's a very early call, I'll say. We
Yeah,
have
I
an
mean
entire
it's
sector to
better.
go. We have an entire
Yeah, I mean
sector
it's
to
better.
go.
That allows them to prep more.
Yeah, and
It should be interesting to see how TBK decides to handle this. I mean, he's already slowed down, letting the safety car go as he should.
that's sensible
The
from him.
cheekiest thing to do would be to follow the safety car until the curve and
I
then
don't think you
suddenly.
can. Can you? Because the game limits your throttle input, right? When you are
Yeah,
when it's at the
I don't
restart,
know
so that
what's
you
the
don't.
closest you can follow
Yeah,
a safety car till.
I think TBK is obviously he's slowing down. He is warming up his tires, but you can't really follow the safety car. If you were able to do that, then people would, and that would lead to a lot of
Yeah.
issues,
Right
as we
now,
know.
of course, no overtaking before the start finish line. Um, TBK very interesting is, I feel like this is
He's
very
really
aggressive
weaving
weaving down.
around.
He
Yeah,
doesn't
that
need
is.
to because he's on soft tires.
Yeah, and the
In fact, the
entire
one
field
person who
is.
should be doing it is Smith since he's on hard
He
tires.
is.
This
Smith
is
is
very
weaving around,
aggressive
not as
weaving.
much as you would think.
TBK is literally dancing the car around right now. He's
And has he bolted? Not yet, not yet, not yet. That
not yet,
was a
and
slight
probably
dummy,
now.
I'll say. No, I
He'll
think he's
probably
gonna go at
start
the
now.
curb. I think he's
Wait for
gonna
the
go at the
curb to
curb.
hit. Yeah,
He's
you were
gonna go
correct
at the
about that.
curb.
Just wait for the curb to hit and then he'll start bolting. Gets his
And
car
let's have a
planted
look.
straight. Yeah, it's from this
Oh,
point
he's
onwards.
still going. All right, this is gonna be the one of the restarts of all time, and it's still not gone. It's still not gone, and he's gone. But that's not a particularly good restart because Vivix is right there.
No,
Although,
but Smith is getting swamped now because of this restart.
yeah, this is gonna be chaotic. Smith is gonna lose so many places. Oh, I think somebody's been spun around. There's an Alpine of Basel, I think, who's had a moment, and so many cars involved.
Smith and Redstone. That was close racing right there. And TBK is dancing already. His car's dancing around. I think he's overheated his tires.
Yeah, TBK, I think, yeah, he just overcompensated and overheated his tires there, as nobody's gonna go for the Daniel Ricciardo dive. Maybe Smith will. He was very close. Redstone locking up. That's gonna cause Wicked Vicky and those behind some grief because they won't be able to see the track. Smith
I
obviously
think
not getting the best restart.
the
Yeah,
smart thing to do right now is to maintain a DRS chain for as long as possible
yeah, it
because you
is.
save up on so much battery. It's the second phase of the race in China which matters more because TBK is anyway compromised as per his strategy. If the safety car had come out at, let's say, lap 9 or something, TBK was as good as, like, hand in the cookie jar
Is
and then.
Smith letting people go? I think Smith is struggling. and
Yeah, I think
much more
lack
than
of
we
temperature
anticipated.
maybe.
Much more than we anticipated. He's really struggling. Shooter and Charles trade places, and Smith he's gone from P3 to P7 in one
Okay, so
sector.
Vifix is not using ERS at all down this street. Look at the power of the slipstream chips on this game.
It's absolutely
That is
unbelievable.
disgusting to see.
What about Abhishek? What about Redstone, who almost runs into the back of his friend there? Former teammate, yeah, I wanted to say. I was not sure what to say there. I just said friend there. But that is also true. Wicked Vicky and Hershey very close. Hershey having a good restart, mind you. He has all those
Yeah, Hershey
penalties as
has a
well,
very
but
good restart. He's
he's
one and
putting
a
up a
half
good show.
seconds. Yeah,
He's putting up
I
a good
think
show.
Smith struggled massively at the start, and you can see just how
He's
much
down
more
in
confident
P8.
Vifix
And
is heading into Sector 1. Look at the lines that he's able to take. TBK.
oh, Charles and Jishnu very, very close. And Jishnu going for the move. There's some slight wheel banging there between the pair of them. And
That's
Jishnu
fine.
is
That's fine.
ahead.
A little bit of
Yeah, that's fine.
argy-bargy is fine.
Exactly. That's allowable. I would not penalize that under any circumstances. But I think Smith
But
is going to
here's
be
the
a hot
thing,
target.
if you are TBK, you have gotten 3 laps under the safety car. Now, do you try, and I mean try, to overextend this stint?
I'm not sure. I think he should
think it
box.
depends on if Vifix gets past him or
Yeah.
not, and how many, and can he keep P2? If he can keep P2, oh, Abhishek's, oh, very nearly. I think he tried small look down the inside of Vifix's car.
Yeah,
to
this
see if he could
midfield
make
train
it.
is really enjoyable to watch. As I
So is
see
the front
Wicket
train
V
as
getting a
well.
bit out of shape, but yeah, of course. Up front, look at this. They are absolutely following each other. They need the slipstream. They want the slipstream, and they're gonna go for it. Especially Abhishek, who's gonna get a double toe. Vivek is gonna go for the move. Abhishek might go
No,
down the
Vivek
inside
is
of the
gonna
pair
back
of
up.
them. Abhishek
This
is right
very
there.
close. This is very close.
And Vivek
little
with the switch
closer
back, but
than-
Abhishek gets the move done. What a fantastic move. Will he be able to get past the Merc driver though? I don't think he will be.
Not yet, not yet. It's too.
It's too early. It's too early. He
it's
can't
too
be doing the
early, it's
move
too
right
early to
now.
try it out.
And this is getting super, super intense. Here in China on lap 6, Redstone is a spectator in all this. TBK stars are falling
I
off.
feel like in trying to get past Vifix, Abhishek might have used more battery than he would have liked, and a slight tap there by Redstone on Vifix's on the rear end of Vifix's Alpine.
Yeah, Redstone has allocated himself the Alfa Romeo. I thought he would allocate himself the Ferrari or something, but he hasn't done that. Yes, alright! Hershey and Shooter make contact. And that is curtains. Why would you go for that? That was
VSCs?
Yeah, that's a full core safety car. So this is perfect for TBK. It's perfect for
this
TBK.
is actually perfect for TBK. You can pit onto the hard tires now. I am a little skeptical of that being a full core safety car incident.
Bharat with a drive-through.
With a drive-through.
It adds to his woes. He's in last place. He's a long way back. He has messed up his strategy, and now he has a drive-through. Effectively, he needs another safety car to bail him out. But this is absolutely perfect for TBK. Nothing.
If TBK can absolutely
nothing
take
else he would have
advantage of
wanted.
this from here to hard tires, and it should easily make it.
What
to
about
the end.
Abhishek and Vifix? What do they do?
I think they stay out. Here, the most interesting gamble call will be by either Vifix or Redstone in this front 4.
You expect one of them to box, one of them to not box. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking along the same line.
Because as long as Vifix has Abhishek as a reference, he can just he can call his strategy on the fly. Abhishek doesn't have that same luxury, because I know that TBK for a fact has to box.
TBK has to, and he will. I'm sure he will. No matter what we might say about his aggression, I'm sure that he is definitely going to box here. And I think the Merc driver is going to stick to the right-hand side of the track and going to come straight into the pit lane. Yes, sir. That's exactly what he's doing.
And Abhishek
so Abhishek and Vivek stays out. So that's exactly what he said. Do whatever he doesn't do.
Redstone has pit as well.
Yes, and a few drivers staying out, a few drivers pitting. So let's have a look at the strategy changes.
So Wicket Vicky is now behind Vifix, and I think
Smith is back into P3.
Yeah, no offense to Wicket Vicky, but I think Vifix has a pace advantage over Wicket Vicky. No offense to him.
Yeah.
I'm just speaking facts here. Given how the safety car restart and everything goes, if there's another safety car, it could very well play into Vifix's hands. But we'll have to see, because by the way, Basil has also pit, so he's in P12. Bharat has
Basil had a Basil
so,
obviously
that automatically puts him one position ahead. In P11. So everyone who's behind right now, 12, 13th and 14th, they'll all gain one position each.
Yeah.
Redstone, okay, TBK, Redstone, and Abhishek are 8th, 9th, and 10th. Ahead of them would be Shrikant. 6 lap old hearts versus
Fresh
fresh
hearts.
hearts. I don't think there's. I mean, there is a difference, of course, but it all depends on where. More
And
than where, it depends on when the overtake happens
now,
for
obviously,
this
Jim,
scenario
this
to play
is
out.
TBK and Shrikant we're talking about. These two have history, a lot of it. I expect
Yes.
to see some fireworks in the midfield at the restart.
Oh,
But
let's go. Mercedes leading a race in 2023. I just saw it.
where?
The safety car.
Oh, yes. And obviously, it was TBK as well. Yes, that's Merc fans.
So
That's
this race
Yash.
has been led only by Mercedes so far.
Yes, I think Yash will
That's
be
a
very happy. He'll give us an Amos report.
little.
Uh, they have built a very great engine, but yeah, of course, regardless, we do love your updates, Yash. Please do keep them going. But yeah, that's a good
It just sometimes
observation by you.
feels like Amos is there to solely cover Mercedes and Mercedes only.
I
It
think
just
it's a
sometimes
German
feels like
outlet,
it.
right? It's a German outlet, right? Is
Yeah,
it?
so when Audi come into the picture, does that mean we get split updates between Mercedes and Audi?
Yes. I think that's what it's going to be like. You have to choose between the two.
I mean,
Oh, somebody's in the box. That's
I think
Bharat.
that's.
Harshi gets a
Why is Bharat
penalty, and Harshi's
severe
boxing.
collision? And
I
both
think
Red
he's.
Bulls are boxing. This is, I don't know. I'm very
This
perplexed right now
is
as to what is
quite a
happening.
weird strategy call by the pair of them. Obviously, Bharat,
Also,
it's
here's the question,
understandable.
Chips. We
Yeah,
haven't had F1 racing at Shanghai for 5 years now. Next year will be 5 years. We are going there on the 5th year.
yeah.
Given what happened with not having gone to Turkey for such a long time and the state the track was in, do you expect something similar could happen at
I
China?
expect grip levels to really be severely reduced because I don't think we've had any form of racing over there, right?
Yes, we
For the
haven't
past
been
few
because
years.
of the strict. I
Oh
can't
no,
say the
like
word, otherwise we
yeah,
might get demonetized. I can't say
we
the
haven't really been
strict.
monetized right now. So
But if we do in the future, I don't
yeah,
want
we
this to
will. Yeah,
come
that.
in this clip too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
the
So
big C,
yeah, yeah.
not cancer. Uh,
The other one, the
yeah, the other
2020
one.
thing, the 2020 thing.
Yeah, a flashback, gentlemen. A flashback to the past.
A short view back to the past.
To the past.
3 years ago, we were in. This very country gave us a gift that allowed us to stay
Yes.
at home. So
Yes.
yeah, of course. But Jin, you sure there's been no racing whatsoever? No
I
LMP,
think
no
no. I think there is
endurance, nothing.
GT3. I think there
Yeah,
might have been GT3 racing, but GT3 racing necessarily won't produce the
grip, rubber.
grip levels that
Yeah.
you'd expect. If there was some endurance racing or like an LMP racing, maybe then. But yeah,
Yeah, I don't think even though there would have been some racing around here, I don't expect the grip levels to be anywhere near what they were in 2019 because we were having yearly races at that time. So
yes.
this is going to be quite difficult, I'll say, for the
Was Hamilton the one who won it in 2019,
yes,
Shanghai?
yes, he did, and it was a 1-2, and I think it was Seb Vettel P3.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the race where they made Charles and Seb swap. Back when Ferraris. Oh,
Safety
safety
car
cars in this lap.
Oh, that's late. That's
Back
late.
when
That's late.
Ferrari's team orders used to work, and this time there's a Ferrari in P3. The restart did not go very well for Smith last time out. What about this time? I think there might be a few reports about the previous safety car restart, but I think Vifix will handle it well. And he's bolted at the curb. That's where I thought he would. That's where I thought TBK would bolt, but this time I think Wicked Vicky's got a very good restart. He is not as close to the back of the Alpine, but he might go for a dive. No, he is.
That's not. There's
dummy.
no way
That's
that's
a nice.
close enough to warrant it.
Yeah, that's sensible by Wicked Vicky to hang back and not attempt a dangerous move, and that's a well-controlled, well-managed restart by Vifix.
Yeah, considering how late the safety car is in, message actually came.
Yeah, that's actually a very late call, so I'll say that he managed it quite well. Let's have a look. So nobody's going for dives, nobody's going for audacious moves, sensibly so.
Yeah, it's sensible driving that will prevail right now, because if you are Vifix, you have one eye out on where P8, P9 and P10 are, and then based on that you start driving around, and Bharat still has to serve his drive-through penalty.
And I'm not sure why Bharat stayed out, why he stayed out the extra lap, why he didn't immediately box.
Yeah, I think he might have thought that, I don't know if Bharat knows this or not, but I think he might have thought it's a possibility.
It's a possibility, exactly.
You could serve.
And we have TBK and Shrikant battling and TBK has gone for the dive. Shrikant trying to go for the switch back, which has compromised Abhishek's line through this sweeping right-hander.
Yeah.
Shrikant
I
onto
think
the back
Abhishek will
straight.
use battery. Abhishek has to use battery, and
He
so
has to,
will.
he has to get past. He has to get past. That's the current target
Yeah,
for
also
him.
Wicket Wiki won't be close enough by the time of the hairpin in order to facilitate a move on Vivek. So Vivek will stay in lead for one more lap.
Let's
I
have a
just
look
hope
for the
that one
back.
of those
That's
moments.
Abhishek's going for a dive on Shrikant. He locks up, but he makes the move. So does Redstone. Although Redstone and Shrikant are side by side. This is going to be very close. Who backs out?
No.
Neither of them
Oh,
back out,
Shrikant
but
had to back
Shrikant
out.
had to
Shrikant had
slightly
to
back out, yeah.
I
And
don't think it's
Basil.
a question of backing out as much as fresh tires coming into play in that scenario.
That's true. Shrikant's tires will be. They're not crying for help right now, but they're just like starting to wail.
All I'll
That's a
say
very
is
bad analogy.
I hope that Wicket Wiki doesn't use too much battery right now in order to stay with Vivix, because they're.
He needs to stick with Vivek till DRS though, Jin.
Yeah,
If he doesn't,
needs
then
to
he's gonna
stick,
really
but
fall
the
back.
point is that if his light starts flashing, then it's an open invite for Smith to go for the move.
That is
The
true.
smarter thing to do is to keep in a DRS train, unless and until you're absolutely sure you can get a move done, because Vivix is someone who's very good at ERS management.
Yeah, I think Wicket Wiki is generally able to keep close to Vivix, although I'm not sure how much battery he's using. Obviously, we can't show that live on stream. But what I'm interested in seeing is that Shooter's had a moment. I was just going to say that Shooter and TBK should be interesting, but never mind. Shooter he can't do anything. His tires are starting to fall off. And Abhishek and Shooter very, very close, almost running into the back of one another. Redstone almost running into the back of the Aston Martin.
Vivix and Wicket Wiki is 6.5, is 0.6. So, I mean, he will use battery Wicket Wiki a little bit, but I don't think it's still close enough to warrant a move. So, right now, Vivix is just doing everything.
And Jishnu going for the move. Jishnu on the offensive on Smith, but he decides to get back behind the Ferrari driver. Oh, and there's a collision between the Alpine and the Williams, yeah. Basil and Abhishek, yeah.
Oh, wait, I just forgot in all of this, Basil is on the same strat as
TBK. Shooter has been forced off the track. I'm not sure who he made contact with there. That might have been Redstone. I think they were all very close.
I'm not 100% sure, but Chips, in all of this, I completely forgot that TBK and Basil are on the same strat as are Redstone and Abhishek. So,
Basil is not. He's somebody we've not. Basil is somebody we've not talked about for a while. But yeah, exactly. We've not really talked about him much, but he is right there. I think if there's no more safety cars, this is going to bode well for Basil, because this is, if he can keep this pace up, he is at least P2, P3.
The only problem for TBK and everyone would be that how much should the tires drop off by the last phase of the race though, because if it drops off to that extent where
Vivix has a moment.
Spins,
Vivix has a moment that is,
I told you in qualifying itself, that corner with his worn tires is very, very tricky.
Jin, look at the sky. Look at the sky. I can see the clouds are darkening up a little bit. Could we see some rain by about say lap 20?
Over the hills. Yeah, I mean, there could be. So, would drivers actually take a chance, like, let's not pit?
They could. They could, definitely.
Because 6 laps have happened under safety car, so you only have 5 laps of racing on these tires. And yes, Wicket Wiki will use ERS here, I'm 100% sure, but he won't be close enough. There is no way he's going to be close enough.
He just needs to be close enough for DRS. That's all he needs. He needs DRS, and what these people need is some room, some racing room. Because it's so intense around here. And what's going on here? TBK, Jishnu, Smith, Abhishek.
No, Raman is still.
Oh my word.
Oh my word.
And this is.
Oh, that is feisty. That is very feisty racing going on right now. I feel bad for Smith right now because.
Smith is going to be gobbled up by so many drivers. His strategy is going to just go out the window here. Jishnu will go around the outside. Oh, there's contact between Smith and Jishnu. And Smith has to take to the grass to avoid running into other cars. Shrikant and Harshi. Yeah, that's a bit doubtful.
Basil has gotten past TBK.
Yeah, they're rubbing wheels, they're banging wheels. They're gonna go side by side towards the Ricardo hairpin. And TBK is gonna go for the dive. Is he on Raman? He is, and that's in a very aggressive dive. And Basil might go for the switchback, and he does. Basil does get the switchback.
Basil has gotten past Raman. I feel like Raman might report that one.
Yeah, definitely.
It was a little too feisty, but let's not take my word for it on commentary itself, because this is just like live review. So
this is just a general observation. It's not the final conclusion. Yeah.
I expect TBK to get past Jishnu. Basil has to find a way past TBK. Because if
let's run with a dive on Raman. Raman's falling back.
Fallen outside DRS range. Ooh, so this is gonna allow Vifix a chance to stretch his legs a bit. He has to put hammer time down now. There's nothing else that can be done.
He does, and so is Basil. Basil also going hammer time or whatever the French equivalent is. Jishnu is gonna be double teamed around here, I think.
Le hammer time.
Yeah, Le hammer time, and that's a neat move by TBK, who's ahead. What about Jishnu and Basil?
Yeah, Jishnu has to back out.
Jishnu can't do much, but he runs into the back of the Alpine. He may have some slight end plate damage because of that, I think.
We don't know yet, but all of them will have DRS on each other again.
Yeah,
Jishnu
I don't think
very close, but
Jishnu
if
can't
it
do
dive
much.
down to the no, he won't. It's sensible racing.
Jin is getting very gloomy. I think the rain might come a little earlier than anticipated. Redstone runs into the back of Jishnu. Obviously, those two will be in party chat. Abhishek and Raman are teammates for tonight.
To be a part of that party chat right now.
Or the amount of
you can see, in one sector alone,
yeah.
Vifix has pulled 0.7 on Wicked Wiki.
How long should he stay out on these tires? Oh, Raman and Abhishek make some slide. They're wheel banging. I'm not sure why Raman's defend. Actually, he's entitled to do so. He's entitled to do. His light is blinking. His light is blinking. So Ram is entitled to do so. There is no constructors championship here. It's just a matter of. Oh, this is getting very feisty between Redstone and Jishnu. Obviously, these two.
By the way, as we were talking, Vifix has pulled another half a second on Wicked Wiki in the second sector alone. So 3/10 now. Yeah, he's probably gonna be about. TBK is gonna reach up to Wicked Wiki quite fast now. He's gonna overtake him for sure.
Oh, Smith, something happened to Smith. He's had a bit of a spin, I think.
Safety car?
No. There's just a prolonged yellow flag. And TBK is past. TBK is past the AlphaTauri driver. What about Basil? Basil has to hang on for now. But he should be able to get past. Those Wicked Wiki stars will start to drop off.
Yeah, even though there's one shot at getting the position back because he'll have DRS right now. One shot is all it takes.
Yes, everything depends on this lap.
Yes.
And what can he do?
Close to TBK,
Jin, it is every single passing lap is getting gloomier. I think we could genuinely see some rain, at least some pitter-patter drops.
If that is the case, then I think Vifix...
Oh, Redstone and Basil Redstone runs into the back of Basil, and Redstone is not enjoying this Alfa Romeo. I'm sure of that. He is having a torrid time. Did I see a speck of rain? Or was that just an illusion for me?
I didn't see anything right now.
Yeah, I'm a bit too excited to see some rain around here. I love to see a changeable conditions race. Yeah, of course. I think I do sweat quite a bit, so that is a definite possibility. TBK is chasing after Vifix, so
if you put this into context, I thought Vifix is not losing as much time to TBK as you would think he is. So
that is true. I just hope this and Abhishek got past Jishnu and Raman.
Please remember this as well, because TBK was battling in order to get all those positions. I'm 100% confident that he'll have lesser battery by this point than Vifix does.
And we have You Can Beat Me saying Konnichiwa. This is the Ni Hao track. The Konnichiwa track will come later in the season. No, it won't.
Okay, Basil on Wicked Wiki should be an easy move.
And that is a straightforward move. Yeah, that's no competition there. Wicked Wiki can't do anything because he is out of tires, but he's looking for opportunities. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah,
I'll say that even though
by the way, last lap when it started, the gap between Vifix and TBK was
Wicked
2.9. It's 3.2
massively
right
off track. The Wicked Wiki just having a bit of a sus rejoin. He's now ahead of Redstone. Redstone's not been his usual self. Either this track or the car or the combo of both.
I think it's a lack of practice time.
Yeah.
I believe Redstone is genuinely one of the fastest drivers that I know. I think it's due to a lack of practice time on this track. Very honestly, that is the only variable. By the way, 2.7 last lap around, 3.3 this lap around. So Vifix is actually increasing his lead on TBK.
However, Jin, if he carries on these medium tires, the only viable strategy would be to go on the softs. Or if it rains, to go on to the inters or wets, whichever is sensible. And Abhishek is struggling. I think Abhishek he's run out of tires. The Williams is not supporting his cause, his charge of the field, and neither is Jishnu's AlphaTauri.
Basil had a slight moment there. I think Basil and Wicked Wiki are going to trade positions again, and this is actually going to hurt Basil.
Basil will have DRS though, Jin. I don't think...
No, but Wicked Wiki is closer to him.
Basil gets good exits. I don't think Basil should have any issues, but as I say that, his rear end is squirming and he will have
more than a second behind.
Yeah, let's have a look. We shall find out in a moment.
No, he doesn't.
And he does not. But Wicked Vicky is too far back, so that won't matter.
Yeah.
What about Abhishek and Redstone? Abhishek and Redstone, nothing's happening there. Shooter and Shrikant, the two Aston Martin drivers. Shooter, is he going to go for a dive? He is not. Shooter knows what he's doing. No, he is not. Oh my word. Oh, that was either early braking from
looks like a busy
Shrikant or yeah, that was either early braking from Shrikant or late braking from Shooter, but whatever it is, Lawrence Stroll is extremely angry at that. I'm sure of that.
Yeah.
Let's go back up ahead and look at the battle between Wicked Vicky and Basil.
Yeah, gap is now 3.6.
Oh,
so
Wicked Vicky had a moment. He had a bit of a snap. Yeah. Redstone might go for a move around the outside of the Ricciardo hairpin. This is not where we usually see moves being made.
It's gonna happen though.
Wicked Vicky is gonna break late. Redstone's gonna go for the switch back, and he does exactly that. But there's contact. There's
I remember MotoGP also used to go to the Shanghai circuit in their early days.
Did it?
Redstone's already flashing, by the way. So
Redstone's having a tough time around here. But Wicked Vicky is still there. Wicked Vicky is still there. He could still have some.
Okay, so TBK has broken
a short of redemption. Yeah, he has. That's very good pace from TBK. I must say, we're not really considering him here. We are not really looking at him at this moment in time. But TBK is really showcasing some brilliant pace. And I think, when do you expect Vifix to pit? Because he has to pit sometime.
Clearing up?
Yeah, unfortunately the skies are clearing up. So that was a false ray of hope, and we are now rays of sunshine.
Lap 20, because at this point he has to hope and pray for a safety car. He's going to lose a lot of time.
And all Redstone almost onto the back of Basil. He has a half spin. Wicked Vicky runs into the side of him. Thankfully, I think there's no damage for any of them. Redstone is having a horrible time in this Alfa Romeo. Nothing seems to be going right for him.
It's very draggy on the straights. So
and it's not very good in the corners either. It's just not a very good car. So and Wicked Vicky is having a tough time in the other Alpha. Oh, there's contact between the pair of them, and Abhishek is past the AlphaTauri driver, and there's some slight wheel banging again. And Dominic saying that
this racing is getting a little too feisty. It is. Like there's nothing that happens.
And Wicked Vicky is out of battery. He's still deploying more, and he's gonna go for a dive. Is he? No, I think he's forced Abhishek into a mistake. That's a good dummy move by him, and Smith into the pit lane.
Psychological advantage.
Smith into the pit lane.
Smith is pitting sooner than I expected him to pit, but
sooner. I think that's fair enough, Jim. Redstone's had a moment. Redstone's had a massive moment, and he's now falling down the order. He's now down in P8. So, Redstone and Hershey almost making contact. And Raman having to take evasive action. So, I'm not sure if Redstone came to blows with anyone. I don't think he would. But I think given the car he's driving, I think his tires is overheated. Abhishek's struggling.
Abhishek is struggling.
Massively.
Basil is... So I think like the pack is pretty much this right now. TBK is in the de facto lead since Vifix has not pit yet.
And
Shrikant gets a 3-second time penalty around his favorite.
And Wicked Vicky is
getting... Did we mention that this is Shrikant's favorite track?
I don't think we have.
I think we should mention it once.
Contact between Abhishek and Wicked Vicky. And
this is a
very valid point by You Can Beat Me. How have mediums gone 16 and now 17 laps? Somebody's in the pit lane.
Because 6 laps happened on the safety car.
Yeah, that is true.
Wicked Vicky, will he go past Abhishek?
He will.
Yeah, he will.
Wicked Vicky is able to keep pace with Abhishek. Abhishek just does not like the lack of downforce that the Williams gives him, and he's been struggling with this since F122, and I mean everybody struggled in F122. That's just, we don't talk about that. This is good.
Yeah.
That's sad memories. We don't.
By the way, TBK's pace has dropped slightly because Basil made up 2 tenths on him in this lap. But
I think TBK is just trying to conserve some battery, conserve some tires. Yeah, exactly. Basil is pushing. TBK isn't. TBK is trying to conserve his tires and some battery, but he will be under threat from Basil if he doesn't get a good run out of these section of corners. Redstone's back within DRS. These are critical corners for this lap for TBK and for the Mercedes driver. The Alpine has led so many laps.
I think he's under. Oh no, I thought he actually did make it to DRS range, but I think he's off by 0.001.
Let's have a look. He is still. Oh no, the DRS detection is much before this part of the track.
The detection point, he missed it by 0.001.
He does have DRS.
No, he doesn't have DRS.
He does. Basil has DRS.
No, it's not open. The wing is not
It
open
is,
at
it
all.
is, it is.
On my screen, it's not. So
Look at the amount he closed up by. He's closed up to
I
like
think
4 tenths. The DRS was
yes,
open. The DRS was open on my screen.
but
I'm
Vivek
positive of
Spitz.
that. And Vivek Spitz, obviously, that's going to be crucial to note where he comes out on track. Redstone and
Soft
Hershey
tires,
battling.
maybe?
Yeah, the soft tires, he can't do anything else. But can the softs go 9 laps without
Can his
falling
teammate
off?
win the race?
It's possible. It's entirely possible. Or if not,
Well,
and
I
Vivek's
mean,
onto the soft
Vivek's
tires.
pace delta, given everything right now, should at least be 1.5 seconds over everyone.
And he should come out just behind Bharat. Yeah, that's
But
about
it's a
right.
1.5 second pace delta as well. So, given the number of laps, if we do some quick math, he actually by the second last lap, he'll be in striking distance of winning the race.
That's fair enough. And Abhishek and Redstone
I am
are.
keeping up with the top two battling right now because it's literally a race to see if
What can Vivek do?
drive fast.
No, the only thing I'm worried about is that he may have the pace right now, but give or take lap 25-26 is where he will really start to struggle with Vivek.
So he needs to get
no matter how much tire conservation he does. Yellow flag. So there's yellow flag up ahead. Hershey, Hershey's had a bit of a spin or something. Yeah, that's just a come and go.
Yeah, so Vivek will probably get past Bharat.
Yeah, he'll wait for DRS. He'll wait for DRS. Yeah, that's smart by Vivek. Obviously, we know that he is very tactical with his driving, Vivek, and Bharat is out of battery.
I don't think he needs to use DRS.
Yeah, and he's just ahead.
Sorry, no ERS. I meant ERS. Just the power of the DRS will be enough to get.
Yeah. Oh, what's going on here between Wicked Vicky and Redstone? Redstone once again having a lockup at this very hairpin, and Wicked Vicky so close to sniffing the rear end of the Alfa Romeo. And onto the main straight we go. Oh, Wicked Vicky's boxing.
Yeah.
Why?
I think the beautiful thing is because he hasn't boxed yet. Oh,
he has.
I think
he could have gone to the end.
Very short. Hershey, oh my god, Hershey very nearly hit the wall on the pit entry right there.
That's a low
So Vivek will get two positions now without having to battle for either of them.
Yeah, that's Vivek into P6.
Next up, Raman. Raman is on 19 lap old mediums.
Jin, would you?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Vivek and Basil are in the same party chat right now. And if you were...
Feel free to race. Feel free to race. Feel free to race. This has to be the call.
I think
it would be extremely wrong for Vivek to say, tell Basil to let him buy. The call needs to be feel free to race.
Because I think by the time he catches up to this battling pack, his tires will be done for. No matter how much pace he has. But yeah, let's see. Anything can happen. Apologies. Once again, Basil outside the DRS detection window, but he might still get DRS. He did get it on the last lap.
This is smart driving, very smart driving by TVK. No, Basil was outside the DRS zone. He was 1.1 seconds when they crossed
Let's have a look. Even last lap there was some issues. And Basil onto the back straight we go. And does he have DRS? There is no rear wing being opened on this occasion. What about these two? What about these two? Redstone and Abhishek.
By the way, Vivek went 2 seconds up on Raman in one lap alone. So depending on how fast this move happens, he can pretty much reach Redstone in 3 laps, so lap 23.
I don't think Redstone will be too much of an hindrance.
He might try a little battling here and there.
But he is just not having a very good time, Redstone. I can see that from his driving. We know how absolutely rapid he is. Somebody's in the pit lane. That's Raman who's boxing.
Raman.
So Raman almost ran into the pit wall there. Almost did a Lewis Hamilton.
His DRS wing open as Raman would have given him DRS. So that is a helpful boost for Vivek.
And there's a 6-second gap, Jin, between Abhishek and Vivek. Let's have a look at this over the course of the lap. So it's 6 seconds when we started the lap. It's already down to 5.4, 5.3, 5.2. Oh my word,
so
this
that's
is
about like 1.5-2 seconds per lap. So in 3 lap time, Vivek should be there with them.
But then again, Jin, let's have a look. He has to gain 11 seconds to get close to TBK. Which is entirely possible.
8 laps by the way, 8 racing laps. Yeah, it is entirely possible. But as I said, if everything happens correctly, then it's a striking distance in the last 2 laps. And
Redstone with a penalty.
Redstone has 3 seconds. No, that's not going to help his cause a lot. And I count striking distance as if you're within DRS range.
Yeah, and Jin, the fact of the matter is he started the lap with 6 second gap to Abhishek, and he's going to end the lap with less than 3. He might be within 2.5, I think, come the
main straight. The DRS is too much of an advantage right now.
But I think the hairpin is where he'll gain a lot of time. He's gonna gain a metric ton of time at the hairpin. Let's have a look. And there you go. He's gained, what is it? 4/10 around here.
Half a second.
Yeah, half a second pretty much. Yeah, that's what I was saying. And he ends the lap.
Time again,
He started the lap 6 seconds behind. He's gonna end the lap 2.8 behind.
So he's 3.2 seconds faster, give or take, right now. That is actually.
But then again, Jin, I'll say that it seems like for once Abhishek and Redstone are genuinely in battle with one another. It's a no holds barred battle.
Yeah.
And these two are
very clean so far. A little bit of argy-bargy, but then again, in battling, that is fine. So now this tricky thing for Vifix is how fast can he overtake these two? Because depending on how fast he gets past them, the rest of the race opens up for him.
Exactly. And if Vifix can make the moves quick enough and get ahead of this battling duo and then catch up to Basil and TBK.
As Malum said in the chat right now, Vifix is on sauce, he has VIP pass. Yes. Okay, so Abhishek's Vifix has caught up to them.
And look at how much later he can break compared to the Williams. This is no competition.
Yeah, it's going to be an easy move.
He's made the move before he even gets to the back straight.
I think can he get redstone before the back? And I think he will, because he will have DRS.
He's using battery. He is using battery. There's a yellow flag for Charles Leclerc, who's had a moment. We haven't spoken much about him, and thankfully I don't think that's going to be an issue.
Oh my god, what a
three-way battle! Three-way battle. Abhishek's going for the dive down the inside. There's some slight wheel banging. There's some slight contact.
That's fine. That is fine. That's completely alright with me.
And Vifix is unleashed. He is into P3. He is showcasing some phenomenal pace here.
Okay. I said earlier, let them fight should have been the call, but given the fact that Basil is dropping back from TBK, he will finish no higher than third in this race if we are taking Vifix's pace into context. The smarter thing for him to do would actually be to let his teammate by.
And in general, Jin, I think there's just some camaraderie between the pair of them, so I think Basil will not be much of a hindrance to Vifix.
So nice for, Vifix is such a lucky guy, man. He always gets teammates who do the right thing for him.
Yes. Yes, cough cough. A very subtle hint there. Or is your throat bad? Do you have a sore throat?
It could be either.
Oh, Charles is retired in the pit lane. That's the first. Jin, our first retire is on lap 23.
It's the era of reliability, isn't it?
It is. It really is. Such reliable cars we have here.
The gap is 4.6 seconds if I'm correct. 4.7 between
the gap to the leader,
right now.
So it's Shooter and Wicked Vicky who I'm really looking forward to. This is going to be a very, very good battle down the back straight.
My prediction is absolutely going to come true, by the way. It's going to be the worst thing that would happen for Vifix right now, and I mean the absolute worst thing, is if a safety car comes out because his teammate is ahead of him.
Yeah. That is going to be absolute curtain. But then again, Jin, if a safety car does come out...
car out?
It makes sense, Jin. Jin, it makes sense. Oh, right. Oh no, it's gone. Thankfully. Imagine running into the retired car. That would have been absolute curtain. That would have been ridiculous. Redstone going for the dive on Abhishek. These two are so...
Is it working?
Oh, wheel banging. Redstone onto the grass. Redstone going to nearby Mongolia almost.
And Vifix is going to be in the RS range of Basil right now.
And Jin, we haven't talked about one person is Bharat. He had a drive through. He's now currently in P6, 3 seconds ahead of Shrikant.
18 lap old. No, 6 seconds technically because Shrikant has a 3.
Yeah, he does. But then again, it's Redstone and Abhishek stars are 17 laps old. His stars are 18 laps old. So it's all a matter of how...
Shrikant should be faster.
Shrikant should definitely be faster. And there you go.
Shrikant and Jishnu battling against each other. We completely overlooked that fact.
And Basil just lets Vifix by before the DRS detection point. So I think it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah, he's trying to get some DRS off Vifix. So yeah, this is a battle. Let's have a look at this. Jishnu and Shrikant.
The two,
obviously these two
inseparable, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely inseparable. Over text messages and on the track. These two, when they come close to one another, it spells danger. And you don't need a red light to indicate that.
it's a good thing that you didn't take a very long pause after the word "come" because it would have been a very awkward line of conversation right there.
I was aware that I have been clipped a few times. Oh, and speaking of being clipped, Shrikant was almost clipped there by Jishnu.
I just saw Jishnu's, he has low battery. Jishnu.
And Jishnu is struggling with battery. Jishnu is struggling in general. I don't blame him. He is driving an Alpha Tauri. It's on Redstone and Abhishek. This is what a fantastic battle these two are having, and I'm sure Redstone, being the driver, he is going to retire in the pit lane on the last lap.
It's more or less equal, the car performance of the Williams and the Alfa. I don't think it's that far apart. So this is literally two drivers in there, and Charles Leclerc has left the session. I almost thought that he rejoined again, and I was like wondering how. But yeah, the point here stands that these two are pretty much on cars which are on equal footing. I wouldn't say that necessarily the Williams is that far ahead or that
it isn't. These two are very closely matched on pace in general as well in equal cars. So this is a very interesting battle. I'm sorry for that. What Bharat needs at this point in time is for Shrikant and Jishnu to have a titanic battle, but I don't think that's what's going to happen here.
And as I said, that Shrikant has a pretty soon.
And as I said, that Shrikant had a slide, so Smith with a penalty.
That's unfortunate. Vifix will probably have DRS at the end of next lap. As I said, it's going to be 3 racing laps left. I did say with 2 racing laps left, we would see Vifix be within contention of the win.
And that's absolutely right. And Redstone and Abhishek.
Redstone has gotten past Abhishek again.
Yeah, they just keep trading places. Nothing is gonna change about this.
This is beautiful to watch.
And these two are very respectful with the racing as well. Even though there was that one run in there.
By the way, given the nature of
Abhishek onto the grass there to make the move. What a spectacular move there by him. Opportunism at its finest by Abhishek.
By the way, given the nature of TBK's aggressiveness while defending, Barrel could still win the race. I'm just saying.
Yep. I do agree. I completely agree. And I think
Shrikant is on the back of Bharat completely, and Vifix is...
Bharat is struggling. Bharat is really struggling, and he's making multiple steering movements.
TBK right now. Keep an eye on Vifix and TBK right now.
I'm keeping an eye on Redstone and Abhishek as well, but let's have a look up
overtake on the last lap, or better to go for the overtake on this lap?
Is TBK gonna try to dummy Vifix into giving him the DRS? Will Vifix fall for it? I don't think Vifix will fall for it, even if he gets close. I don't think.
Vifix has DRS advantage already.
TBK has a bit more battery than Vifix at this point in time, but I think definitely there's nothing doing with TBK. Is going to be powerless to defend, or he is going to use battery. So that's what TBK is saving up all that battery for and conserving his tires and energy. That's what he wants to do. There's a yellow flag for a Red Bull. Archie, Vifix around the outside. What can he do with the switchback? Vifix, will he get better grip? No, TBK is still there. And TBK will squeeze him out there and onto the last turn. Yeah, DRS once again. This is where we've seen so many moves being made, Jin. And a yellow flag for somebody. Is that Archie again? And TBK is still ahead. But Vifix sweeps around the outside. That's superior grip on the soft tires in effect. But TBK has the inside line, and he might.
Vifix has the inside line.
The inside line keeps changing around here. TBK has a massive snap.
He nearly had a moment, but that's
a very respectable defense by him. Yeah, that's a very respectable defense by him. He used up all his battery and all his tires, but it was to no avail. Vifix would have definitely got ahead regardless. Now, I'm just surprised TBK was able to hold on to Vifix's rear end for that long. Nobody's able to give Vifix that much competition, Jin. Nobody gave Vifix that much competition as TBK did.
Get-go, it just seemed like this was Vifix's race to lose. Even when he was passed on the straight, his medium tire stint was just something else.
That's true.
Meanwhile, Bharat versus Jishnu, and Shrikant has already pulled away from them, but he has a 3-second penalty, so he's losing the position to these guys.
Archie has retired in the pit lane, so...
Yes.
That's who's gone wide. That's Bharat who's gone very wide. Bharat is not having a good time.
Yeah.
He is struggling.
We're going to see 2 Alpines on the podium at this rate. It should pretty much be an Alpine podium, yeah.
It should. Ideally, it should be. As we have Jishnu. Who's gone very deep, very wide there. That's Wicked Vicky, I think, who went completely off the track. Shooter and Smith. This is the battle for P10. and they're still going at it like they're battling for the
Yeah,
podium.
but Smith has
Smith has the better car,
no
and does he have the better
3 second
tires?
penalty.
Does he have the better tires though?
No, yeah, he does. 10 lap mediums versus 10 lap softs. It's always going to favor the mediums
And
at
this is
that
the
point.
last lap of the race, lap 28. 2 safety cars throughout the race, and this is what it all comes down to. Abhishek and Redstone. Redstone's backed off. I think Redstone's, he's had a very nice time. Bharat has lost a place to Wicked Vicky as well. Both AlphaTauri is getting past the Red Bull. Helmut Marko will be seething. Can Bharat stay within 3 seconds of Wicked Vicky?
Easily coming out of his one eye. Bharat 3 seconds ahead of Wicked Vicky. I
3
think
seconds
he can.
within. Yes, 3 seconds
Yeah,
within.
he will, because Jishnu is gonna hold
He's
up
really
Wicked Vicky now.
really struggling, Jin. He's on equivalent tire life as Redstone and Abhishek and even Basil for that matter. But
He's gotten past.
and what's going on here? What's going on here between Bharat and Wicked Vicky? Wicked Vicky is Wicked Vicky let people. Why? Why is he letting people
I don't
by?
know. All I know is that come the final hairpin, Vifix is rounding it up for the one last time.
Yeah, and what a race this has been for Vifix. Absolutely controlled. Even though it may have looked a bit dicey with the strategy, I think this was very, very well controlled and well managed by Vifix, who's going to take the last turn and come up to the finish line in the Alpine and win the Chinese Grand Prix. TBK will finish P2, a valiant effort by him there right at the end. Oh, and that's a flourish to the finish. Basil in the other Alpine gets P3. That's a great effort by him. Abhishek will finish P4. What about Redstone? I'm sure he's boxed. Yeah, he has. Srikanth is going to be P5, but with his penalties, he will probably drop down to P6 or P7. Will it be? Oh, Redstone's retired, understandably so. Bharat finishes P7, Shooters P8, Wicked Vicky's 9th, and Raman Sten Smith with his penalty finishes in P11. So, that's been a very eventful race. A few run-ins, I didn't see any incidents because of the ghosting rule that we have implemented, so I think that's fair enough. Drivers take necessary precautions anyways, and I think this is quite well done. Obviously, kudos to Vifix and to the Alpine team. Kudos to TBK and Basil as well. What a race. You hear, Jim?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. That's been a very entertaining race, and Jin, the fastest lap did not go to Vifix. I would have expected it to go to Vifix, but it went to Shooter. Stuff just happens, and Shooter gets the fastest lap of the race and 5 points along with it. Obviously, there's going to be quali points as well, but that's 20 points for Vifix from this race.
And he got pole position as well, right? So,
yeah, so
how many points would that be over the
That's
weekend?
28 and 2 for CRB, so he gets 30 points from the race weekend. Obviously, we don't follow the F1 points format. Let's have a look at the race director as well for stewards per usual. Quite a few track limit warnings, Jin. I think you may be seeing a few track limit removals.
Yeah, track limit warnings again. Context of the exceeding track limits also warrants a look into it. So you can't just say that it's one and done.
Exactly. But
so the podiums are the three, the two Alpines and the one Merc of TBK.
Yes, Basil, Vifix and TBK. That's been a nice race, I must say. I did quite enjoy that.
Compared to what we thought, it's quite uneventful.
Yeah, obviously, I expected it to be absolutely mind-boggling, but it was controlled. Well controlled, well managed. And I think we should have the top 3 join us any moment now. But Jin, closing remarks from the race?
None really. I mean, it was how should I say this? It's always nice to go back to a track that we haven't seen for a long time, whether it be virtual or in real life.
That's true. I love to go back to Turkey. Like you did mention Turkey at the start, so I've been really hooked to that. I think Codemasters would really get, and rather, no, not really Codemasters, EA would see a lot of sales. EA and sales. I think the execs are already getting quite the, well, I can't say it, alright. They're getting excited at the prospect of getting more sales. But I'm sure that Jin,
they're salivating. They're salivating.
Yeah, they're salivating. That's the safer work way to go about it. But yeah, I think pretty sure they're salivating at the very thought of getting more sales. But I'm sure, Jin, if they add classic tracks, not classic cars, just classic tracks or different tracks, some variety to the game, we would see a lot more interest in the game.
Yes, of course. I mean, there is no greater money grab in this world than what nostalgia can do for you.
So say if you brought back like a few Asian tracks, a few European tracks, so if you brought back say
Sepang, Nürburgring,
both
Hockenheim,
of course.
Hockenheim is...
This is a bit of an odd call. I would like to see Valencia back, the street circuit.
Ah yes, the one where Alonso won from outside the top 10.
Yeah, I was just watching the classic replay on F1 TV recently, yesterday I think it was, and I like the track. I know people just don't like that layout very much, but have you added them to the party meanwhile, Jin?
No, I haven't.
I think you should.
Yeah, you should add them.
Talking at this, yeah.
It's coming. Add TBK, add Basil, add.
Yeah, perfect. I can't find Basil. Can you find Basil?
I'll try adding him.
Yeah, I think we lost.
Writes in Paddock, Alpine made relevant for actually racing, biggest achievement in my league racing career.
I'm grateful for his contributions to the Alpine effort.
The Alpine lore, Chips, the legend of the Alpine lore. Where is Basil? I hope he's appearing online. And
were you just meat riding your brother?
Nah, I never do that.
Welcome, TBK. Should we start with him? I think we can't find Basil, so...
Yeah, I literally can't find Basil for some reason.
So I think we'll request Vifix to add him. Yeah. So if you can just do that while I start off with...
Can you add Basil? I can't find him.
Yeah, wait.
So we'll start off with TBK.
Yeah.
TBK.
By the way, Vifix, Jin was meat riding you.
Oh, we do have Basil. So TBK will come back to you just after we talk to the P3 Basil. Man. Yeah, but a great drive by you. That was some phenomenal pace. Basil, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Is your audio set to sharing?
Yeah, audio sharing is enabled.
Yeah.
Ni hao to you, and a very well done, very well done, Basil. That was good pace. You seemed like you were gonna hassle TBK towards the end of the race, but I just think you were out of touch with the car or maybe the track. How was it today, though? How was it?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Congrats to Vifix and TBK for being on the podium. Yeah, up and down. I think Shrikant took me out, which was fun. And then I was driving the rest of the race with underfloor and rear wing damage. But that meant that my car was a bullet in a straight line. It was crazy fast. I almost had TBK, but I think my tires were starting to cry, and I had to conserve the tires, otherwise I would not have made it. It was like 85% at the end. So yeah, I think in another day maybe I would have got it, but I'm happy with P3.
That was information we did not know, that you had underbody and rear wing damage. So after that, it's just respect for you. That's a very, very, very good effort, Basil. And congrats to you. That's a very phenomenal result for you. Jin, anything you'd like to ask him?
No, not really. At one point I thought that he dropped back from TBK because he ran out of battery or something, but now this puts the situation more clearly as to what had happened.
Well, no, I did run out of battery as well, but even without battery, I think my advantage on the straights was like 4 or 5 tenths. So even without battery I was catching him, but I had to save my tires or I wouldn't have made it to the end.
Is that why you didn't put up a fight against Vifix when it came to?
Yeah. I mean, Alpine is love, obviously.
Valtteri is James.
Yeah, I let him through, initially thinking that he could drag me on, but then I realised my tyres were not going to have it, so yeah. I mean, there was no point in trying to hold back a faster driver. I mean, someone in an Alpine would know too well about that.
Okay, alright.
Well, I'm
Congrats on the
absolutely
P3
loving.
again, Baz.
I'm loving the
Thank you.
direction where this is going, but obviously, very, very well done, Basil. That was a great, great drive by you.
Thank you.
Now, move on to the
TBK.
top G, TBK. That was some phenomenal pace by you, TBK. I must say that was remarkable to see. You were the only driver who put up any form of competition to Vifix, and it was absolutely amazing to watch. Just walk us through your race. How was it out there today?
Yeah, I mean, congrats to Vivix and Baz though. But I mean, yeah, it was quite. I don't know. I was literally just playing for fun. I was telling them I'm gonna get them in turn one and shit, but I literally just put on the soft so that I could get ahead of Vivix, and that was it, man. I genuinely didn't even care if I raced, but then as it went on, it got a bit more serious. And then, yeah, and I think, yeah, I took it to the line so close because I wanted carnage on turn one, and so I could get a safety car, so I took it really slow. And yeah, but after that, though, yeah, but as Baz said, he was a bullet on the straight. I mean, both the Alpines, they were so quick on the straight. But, I mean, yeah, I would have maybe put up one more, like, I'm not going to say I was, going to give Vifix a lot of fight, but I feel like one more lap could have been on the table because I think when I pit, I reduced my wings down to almost 6. So I went from 42 to 36 because I thought it was too much front end. So, but at the end, I had like 89 front tires and like 56 in the rear. So maybe if I just played that out a bit more correctly, maybe I would have given Vifix a bit more fight. But yeah, GG to him though.
Well, I'm actually quite surprised to see the tire difference between the fronts and the rears be that much around here. So
Yeah,
that's something
I think I took a screenshot like 56 to almost like 85. Because I think when Vifix took me around the outside, I knew my tire was good on the rear, so I tried to get a good exit, but it just snapped on me. So it looked like I was taking out Vifix, but nah, I wasn't that.
But that was a very good pace by you, TVK. I must say that was
GG.
really, really well done. So, sorry. Congrats on P2. Massive congrats.
Yeah, GG Top G. Seems like the dinner of champions really worked out for you.
Yeah, bro. You already know. Alex Jones back on the Twitter, baby.
Let's go. And now...
Well done. Now on to the true Alpine driver, Vifix. What is your opening remark? I'm just waiting for this. I've been waiting for this since we invited you to the party.
What do you want me to say? I mean,
I know you usually have a very nice witty
I
remark.
think people are just like surprised, that the Alpines are made relevant for actually like racing, so it's, I would say that in and of speaks for itself. I mean, I think I've eclipsed every Alpine driver barring you, Chips, in single-handedly just in qualifying itself. I think that I'd done that. I think I'd outscored every Alpine driver not named you. But yeah, coming to the race, I think the guys who pit under safety car pit like really early. I honestly thought there'd be another safety car. That's why I didn't pit. But when I came out on softs and I realized I was like 4 seconds a lap faster, I was like, okay, then there's a chance that we could win this race. And the overtakes were all like fairly easy because it has so much grip advantage. And my car, I don't know what happened, it really wanted to turn right when I was side by side with TBK. Because that's how Alpines normally try and affect the running order, but it's somehow like I kept my willpower. There was no side pod glitch, thankfully. I don't know how that happens. So the Latinas will not be. I will not be leaving the Latinas. The gap between winning and losing was shorter than 5'5", and if TPK or Baz had hit me, then I would have unfollowed them on all social medias because that's what real men do. But yeah, Alpine is love, and we'll be enjoying the champagne. Somebody else can enjoy this Black Flags. for life. And yeah, that's I think that's my 25th or 26th win in THTRL as well. So yeah, so
Maybe
HTML, bro. Get your facts straight. It's HTML.
maybe a signal of a change of guard from Ferrari to Alpine in league racing, maybe for Vifix. Who knows?
never, never.
Never say never.
Yeah, I think that's what you meant. Justin Bieber said it first.
But
anyways, that's that for
great
this weekend.
pace, Vifix. Great pace. Well done. Congrats to you. And I think you've taken away maximum, no, not maximum points. You missed out on the fastest lap by about a 10th, I think, from Shooter.
Yeah, because of the fastest lap I had to overtake Abhishek and Redstone. So
Well, that was a nice battle.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
speaking of Latinas that Vifix said, we will see you next week from Catalonia. We are going to Spain. So, yeah.
Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo, okay. Oh, yeah, you first said Spain. I'm sorry. But anyway, Brazil is also known for its, well, it's a Latin American. Yeah, anyways. That's that.
Shout out to my Singaporean friend
Who will be here in
who will be here tomorrow.
Alright.
Absolutely
That's
loving that. But once again, before we conclude, congratulations to all the drivers, especially you, Basil, Basil, TBK, and Vifix. All of you drove really, really well. Thank you, Jin. Once again, a pleasure to.
You're welcome. I did say, since it's my home race, I have to commentate on it. So yeah.
Yes. And I've loved the linguistics as well. You're very linguistic yourself. What is it? 8 languages, right?
Yeah, I'm learning my 8th right now.
So I hope Portuguese is one of them because there is next week around there.
Yeah.
So, let's see. So until next week, that's it from us at the moment.
Yeah.
See you in Brazil
And,
for these sprinters. Yeah, go ahead, Vifix.
Just for traditions. To all Canadians.
Alright, that's that.
Alright, that's that's that. We'd like to conclude here before it something else happens. But yeah.
Hey, GG Vifix, bro. GG, man.
Thank you to everyone. Thank you, Jin.
Jin.
Congrats to the podium finishers. Thank you to all the drivers who took part. And we'll
See you next week from Interlagos.
Yes.
Kundalini Unleashed.
Thank you. Take care. Good night and bye bye.